Daniel. So, top spot this game, surely mouth-watering. SK versus mTw, brilliant clash.
Really is. SK picking up a big win in that last game for them. They've had two big results. One was a draw against Mirror, which is big for the wrong reasons, and their win over IEM was big for all the right reasons. Is that the turning of the corner for SK? Are they back? Well, it's a replay of the World Cyber Games final, which mTw won. If SK needed any more reason to win this one, it's right here.
Yeah, of course, their group is kind of the hardest one as well. Obviously, in the other group, MIBR actually somehow ended up drawing their game against Gravitas. They were like 12, or maybe 14-6 up or something like that. And that actually came back to a 15-15, a draw in the group stage, which I think almost counts MIBR out now. They seem to have slipped up somewhat this tournament.
This has been one of the worst days of MIBR's prestigious history. This has been horrible for them. Results have just not gone their way, and I think they'll look forward to getting back on the plane.
Okay, so let's talk about this game. SK against mTw. Who's going to win?
You've got to go for mTw. They've not dropped a game here. They've not dropped a map here. That's very, very impressive. SK have got the talent. The question is, can they just... I don't know, they seem to be missing something, the magic click. Something's got to come together for them, and then that lineup is more than capable of flying away with it.
Well, let's see that lineup then. Bringing the teams on the stage first up will be SK Gaming. Like we said, they drew one of their games versus Mirror, and the first man on the stage will be Robin. Pure talent, he's been on form this tournament.
Yes, Robin has been their best player, without doubt.
Next man will be 10 Poland. We gave him a little bit of criticism one match where he was defending Banana on Inferno. He couldn't quite handle the job, but hopefully we'll see him in action today, and things will be a little bit better for him and his teammates. Then, of course, we have Wally, strike caller, and also top opener as well in that SK side. Brilliant player.
Yes.
Then we have Alan. Yeah, sometimes aggressive, sometimes a holding player. I think he can play every single role in the game, can Alan, and play it well.
Yeah, he's a real unsung hero, I think.
Then finally, we have Zet, who, of course, plays that aggressive role similar to the Forest, the Get Rights kind of style. And when he goes aggressive, the other team has to watch out.
Yeah, it's very difficult to play against Zet when he's on fire. He's here, there, and everywhere. He pops out of holes, he pops out of corners. Really tough player when he's on fire. You just got to make sure he gets on fire.
So let's have a look at the Danish guys then from mTw, and as usual, sporting weapons. Not quite of the lethal variety, but still.
Sonic's got them both.
Yeah, sword and an axe. Well, it worked out yesterday for them. Finally, had a tough game in the final against Alternate, but he managed to come out on top. This is, of course, MJE. So he played fantastic against MYM on Train, but the game in the final, he was slow to start. Then we have AVE, who, again, when we last saw him on Inferno, was taking 2-3 kills every round.
Yeah, AVE had a good game yesterday. He was yesterday was his day, the day before was MJE's.
Now we have Wimp with his sword. No, sorry, axe. It's not a sword, it's an axe.
They've got 3 weapons, they've got an extra one.
And then finally is the AWP player, and of course Counter-Strike Player of the Year as well, Sunder. And well, we said this, and we say it I think every time, if he's on form, he can make a real difference for mTw.
Yeah, Sunder is impossible to play against right now. He is just a machine that, well, a machine that can't be stopped. He's like a Terminator.
Like the Terminator. That's good analogy, yeah, good analogy. So, looking forward to this game, I mean, what do you think we'll most likely see? Do you think mTw are going to steamroll again?
I'd love to see SK pick up the first 5 rounds. I'd love to see them quickly ask this big question of mTw. Put them under pressure from the very beginning and see what they do. Because we've seen so many times when mTw start and are methodical, there's no stopping them. So SK to win pistol, win the first gun round, then we've got a real game on our hands.
We certainly do, and I think mTw really thrive, actually, when they've got their back against the wall. We saw it against Alternate. They went into overtime, and they won the first half 5-0.
When don't mTw thrive right now? I mean, they are taking names and numbers, but SK are a team who've got the experience that if anyone's going to break mTw, I got a feeling it could be them.
Certainly could be. When we come back here after a quick advertisement, we're going to have an interview with Guido from mTw and Wally from SK. So don't go anywhere. That's coming up here very shortly.
Welcome
back to the Intel Extreme Masters Grand Finals here at Seabed. I'm joined on the couch by Gudo of mTw and Wally of SK. And guys, you're getting quite familiar here on the couch. You must be wondering what is going to come from this one that hasn't come previously in these matches. You guys have played many times before. The most notable, Gudo, was in the World Cyber Games final. How does that one play out in your mind? Is that something that's going to give you strength in this match?
No, this is a completely new tournament and has nothing to do with WCG.
And what about your defeat to SK? You lost to them at the DreamHack final. Again, does that play any influence on your
No,
mind?
that's also another tournament, another match, but we know that they can play us and obviously defeat us as they did at DreamHack, but this is a completely new tournament and a new match.
Okay, now from your perspective, how do you keep each day coming back here being on top? Is there, do you send them to bed early every day? Do you crack the whip and make sure that, what is your role in making sure that they don't slip up?
Enough sleep, focus on every game, that's probably the main factors.
And who buys the inflatable Viking toys?
That's a secret.
I just wondered whether mTw had a budget for it. Wally, how are you feeling ahead of this one? Is confidence high? You had some good results and one iffy result.
Well, I guess confidence could have been higher for us this tournament, but it feels like we're kind of underdogs in this match as they're the big favorites and we've been playing so bad. So, we don't have as much pressure on us as we usually do. So I think we're feeling comfortable in this match.
Now you're playing Nuke, I think. Is that... Nope.
Train.
There we go. Train was a map that you guys in LA were truly formidable on. Is this a map that you can rekindle that form, or has things moved on from there?
We did change a few things since LA, that's a long time ago, and besides, mTw rolled us on Train in WCG, so... But we did change a few things, and it depends. We can play really well if we get going, but obviously they're the favorites and they're a great team.
How key is it to get CT first? Because you've appeared to be a team that benefit from confidence. If you get CT first and have put up a solid score, can that carry you through to win the match?
That's hard to say too, because this tournament we've usually been doing a good first half and then failing totally on second half, so I wouldn't say that it matters really. It's each half, we got to focus on the first half and then on the second half and not take anything for granted no matter how many or few rounds we take.
All right, guys, thank you very much for your time. I'm going to send you back over to the match, and when we come back in just a second, we're going to get this game started. It's mTw versus SK.
So, Tosspot, big game is coming up. I want your predictions now. I want a score.
A score? I think you have to look at history and say mTw to win, and you'd probably have to favor them to do it by much. But there's this voice in the back of my head that says SK can do this. And I don't know why. I couldn't tell you why I've got this voice in the back of my head, because logic says mTw. But I got that feeling.
Well, when I look at the form chart on SK's website, actually, SK sounds something like win, draw, win, lose, draw, win, lose, lose. Whereas mTw says win, 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 win. There are no losers in there. And that just proves how much, they are on form here. They've been winning everything here. They had a very hard game against Sultan, 15-50, went into overtime, but even the difference between that main game and the overtime was kind of astonishing, They look like a completely different team in that overtime. And something clicked.
Something does click, and I think if SK to beat mTw, they'll need to do it in regulation time, as you would call it. We don't have overtime in this, as it's group stage. I think Tempole needs to play. I think he's the one that's been quiet for them. I think he needs to pick up his game.
Well, if there is a game to do it, this one would be it. If they can beat mTw in the group stage, that will probably give them, that kind of edge going forward. Obviously, they can then outplace mTw further on. mTw, of course, not likely, in my opinion, to be losing any other games. Of course, SK actually drew one game as well, which is going to hinder them a lot as far as the whole placement thing is going along. I think SK have to realistically kind of hope for second now.
Yes, that's true, but that was always the case for them when you play in a group against MTW. Victory here changes all of that, of course, but now we're going to start the all-important knife round, and normally the knife round is nothing more than a coin toss, but on Train, it's crucial that you win it, and if you can make that any more in your own hands, then that's of a benefit to you.
Yeah, of course, if you can get that CT side here on Train, then, well, things can get a little bit easier. Let's just put it that way. I mean, we saw how MTW can play the CT side of Train in their game against Alternate, and of course in their game against MYM, where they didn't drop a single round on that counter-terrorist side. And they're just a formidable team right now. It's really hard to say anything else without being logical than they're going to win this game and the tournament. At the moment, they are winning this knife round as well. They've got kills coming in left, right, and centre. Actually, only one more remains. He was taken out by MJE. Well, no one from MTW been taken out there. And of course, they will take that CT side first. How much of a boost do you think that is now to MTW's game plan?
110%. It makes a huge difference. If SK were to come back, were to win this, it would have been on the T side. Now, that's just the way it is on Train. It's almost unfortunate that it's that one-sided. It sort of makes it a difficult match to watch because you're going to see one team race away with it. But as long as SK don't do an MYM and give themselves a chance going into the second half, then it's still possible.
I really don't see that happening. I think SK will do fairly well in this game. I don't think they're a pushover by any means. But then I wouldn't have thought MYM were a pushover either. And MTW just schooled them in that game. There was no doubt about it. SK obviously starting off on that T side. If they can get pistol in the first gun round, then it's almost job done for the half, and they can not sit back and relax, but at least be kind of comfortable in the knowledge that they are safe, and it is a decent half already, and then they can build on that and try and pick up rounds wherever they can.
There you see on your screen the big crowd shot. We've got a lot of people out here, guys. Want to hear you making some noise when you see a shot you like or the team you're cheering for wins. Normally, we just have alternate fans out here because of the local German audience. Now you've got to pick whether you're for Denmark or Sweden as the Scandinavians take to the stage.
Yeah, and we actually have a manager behind SK this time. Usually they have Budak up there, but today it will be Tim from SK. We'll see if he can steer his team to victory. Actually, we talked to Tim along with Cormac and Cengiz from Mouse Sports in a show before this event to get their predictions and things like that, and Tim was quietly confident, I think, of SK's kind of form and ability to coming into this tournament. And I don't think he's been too far off. I mean, they were disappointing, I think, in the Continental Finals, but that really, when you look at the grand scheme of things for this week, that wasn't really the time to peak anyway.
No, it wasn't, and if you can resolve your problems early on, then that's not necessarily a difficult thing. So we'll see. They could come back stronger, SK, or MTW will dismiss everything you and I have just said. MTW are one of those teams who can just bully SK. We're underway on the pistol round. Joe, take us away.
Yep, so SK actually at the moment have 3 men moving down Ivy already. Wally has fallen. It was a double nade into team middle, and that, of course, will start off brilliantly for MTW on this CT side. If they take pistol, their momentum will move very, very quickly. And a lot of the time, against MYM certainly, they didn't know what hit them. It moved so fast and the score approached 15 so quickly, they didn't see it coming. Here come SK though, they are going to make a push now onto that outer train yard. Wimp will fall down, 2 men fire down from CT spawn. One of them is Zonic, who actually gets 2 frags. AV's gone down to Alan, as Alan spots a man up on sniper deck. It's a 3-on-2 in favour of the Danes. There is still that 1 man up there. It will be Alan to pick off Sunder. It's now all level, 2 versus 2. Zonic, who already has 2 kills to his name, will look to pick up 2 more here and win the pistol round for his team. SK are going to edge around the corner. Alan will fire away once again. He's taking damage. MJE will kill him, and that will be the round for MTW. Now, if you're not really familiar with the Counter-Strike, I'm assuming there are a few people who don't really know the game. Now, MTW have money to buy weapons, but SK still have to use pistols, which means that chances are they will go 3-0 in the lead, MTW, unless something goes wrong.
Yeah, it's like all terrorist attacks. You need money to fund it. And if you don't have, and money comes from killing and bombs and whatnot. I don't know. I've not done anything like that. But and that's what MTW now need to do. The game does auto balance it out should you continue to lose rounds. But from these guys' perspective, things just became a heck of a lot more difficult. And you feel that from SK's perspective, it wasn't the start they needed. They are a confidence team. And things just got a lot harder. But they're going to take this one slow, play this one by the numbers, and see if they can do anything to prevent the inevitable. That would start via Wally's opening frag, but Sunder pulls one back, and a second, and Tentpole will run for that weapon that's on the top and not get it. MJE comes in, and Wally now on his own is dead. And we have a pause. It's the second PC in there. I think that is Robin.
Yeah. So this could work in favour of SK here, even though it's an unfortunate crash and things like this. The fact is that this can kind of push MTW against their thing. Oh, it's the Steam Friends that actually pops up in the middle of the game, which is if you're in a 1 versus 1 situation to win the game, and all of a sudden your friend has come online. It's not the greatest thing for competition, so they have to turn that off, and we shall get this one back underway. I mean, once you've lost that pistol round, I think you have to kind of get it out of your head, stop thinking about it, because if you dwell on it for too much, then it can hinder you going forward, and once you've lost it, you've lost it. You might as well just try your hardest the next 2 rounds and just forget the reasons until after the game as to why that happened.
Quite right, you need to then start focusing on that first buy round, because that's the time when the game can be changed back if you are going to get your way back into it. So crucial that the first buy round is all set up, and you've then basically got yourself 2 rounds in which to make sure you are ready for it. Now, there's Robert on your screen. Looks like he is all right, if not dead. But
that SK shirt looks nice in pink, white with a red light on it.
Robin is the only one wearing the white SK shirt. They do have a full wardrobe collection, SK.
Yep, courtesy of Adidas. We're just not sure exactly what's going on. Cartman's dashing around like usual, but I'm sure we'll have it fixed here in a second. They are having some problems with Robin's machine. MTW said we're ready whenever, and we want to kick a spectator. Please, not me. There we go. We are going to get on pause. We will get back into it then. And of course, that round just finishing off. It was won by MTW. They go into the 3rd round. Let's see if SK are going to buy it. Looks like they've gone for the early buy. This can happen if you get kills early on, if you get bomb plants early on, you have extra money to work with, and you can buy guns in the 3rd round rather than in the 4th round. But again, it's a risk, because if that goes wrong, then you're back again down to no money, which is not what SK need right now. Robert spots one actually down the end of the 5 chain. He won't connect though. MTW is still setting up here. Smokes and flashes going down. Sunder, who is a huge player for MTW. If he's hitting his shots today, SK are really in trouble. Wimp will pick up one as well. Sunder makes it 2. Quick talk from SK, and Tentpole with a double before getting this bomb down. And while we said before this game that he has to show up, and at the moment it looks like he is. MJE as well was brilliant the other day, and will now look to get back in this game. It's a 1v1, and MJE will take it. It looks so good for SK. But again, anyone from MTW all of a sudden flicks that switch and they can do that.
MJE made that look easy, and trust me, it wasn't. That is the class of the MTW side. Really, really top-notch stuff from MJE. And MTW recover. 3 rounds to 0. You can't practice for that. That round was SK's. Everything they did was right. And MJE, excellent play, excellent stuff from him. Full marks, and now SK find themselves with Very, very little here in this 4th round. And remember, oh, no, they have got an AK with Robin.
He's probably not fully in there with grenades and armors, though.
Yeah, one guy bought grenades, I saw, but 3 AKs. mJE gets himself Zet down. And Robin will go through. Remember, in the first half of the match against MYM, mJE dropped to 25. It was rather impressive. As Wally will now exchange the bomb with Robin and dart back. A pair of them look like they're ready to make their push. Through the smoke they will go. And mJE and Sonic are waiting for them, but AVE's been down. That's a big frag from Alan there. Wally now having second thoughts about the bomb. He's retracted from this movement with Robin, who is continuing to cause diversions. He's keeping Sonic and mJE occupied at least, as they're now still convinced that there could be players coming there. mTw really don't know where SK are right now. It's a 4-on-4, still anybody's round. SK have fielded out this mTw defense, but the big man is Wimp here. He's going to have 2 coming towards him, and he's going to get dropped by Wally, who was coming from the other side. Great work. Sunder strikes with the frag onto Wally. Now goes in between those back trains and has to stop the bomb being planted. They know that the bomb's coming out. Sonic's coming up to Sunder's left to help him out as Sunder continues to play around. Oh, what a frag. mJE and Sonic finish it off, and they just make it look so easy.
Again, Sunder was the major player in that situation. He stood firm, and the thing is, when you come onto the outer side, you know that if there's an ult there and he's good, which of course Sunder is very good, you're probably going to go down. You're going to lose 1 man. And Sunder's job in that situation is not necessarily to kill everyone, it's to slow them down and let everyone get back around, rotate from that inner side and get onto the outside so that they can deal with what was happening. And that's exactly what they did. Sunder in the end picked up frags, picked up 2 frags in fact. And now SK will be penniless and will be on an eco round, which means they should be losing out on this one. The score 4-0 here at the moment. Let's see if they can do anything. Of course, they're not just going to rush in there and kind of give it up as a bad round. They will try to win it, because it's not unheard of for these rounds to be won, but it is quite rare. Sonic will pick off 2. mJ with one of his own. Down goes Robin. And well, it could be a hat trick here for one of these players. Tentpole is the last man standing. And he's just hopping left and right there from the ladder, and actually Wimp came charging along. All of mTw were coming there as well and finish him off with a USP. So that's the 3rd of the rounds gone in this first half, and all of them have gone to mTw.
Oh, what a horrible start for SK. This was the start I was kind of hoping that they'd get, the one that mTw have got, so it'll make it a game. Because if you show any weakness, mTw are the team who will exploit it. And, this being proven right now, case in point, with the scoreline reading 5-0 in favor of the Danes. And Zet, Robin will edge further up from Wally here. There are, however, 2 players down the maybe walkway. One of them is Alan. He sits waiting as he's joined by Temple behind him. And SK beginning to make their move. They're spread out. 5 players are long way away from one another down the various white alleyways. Temple continues to watch the back, but AV is not pushing out in that direction. And now it will be Zet to be the front runner for this attack with nades coming down. But the rest of the SK team have retreated in behind him. They are a long way away from the Zet now. mJE and Sonic both pushed up long. Wimp's extended himself further out though. Let's find him. Sunder finds himself a frag. Temple drops Wimp. It's on AVE to see whether he could do anything about it to stop this incoming assault from Temple. Shot rattles on off. Here come SK. Wally comes on through the first train yard as well. Temple versus AVE. He's about to kick off any second now. AVE fires off the opening sets. Wally goes down at the hands of Sonic. AVE continues to fire off, but there's SK players all over this train yard now. Tempole's got the frag on AVE, and mJE's been down, and the hole is there, and SK have filled it. They finally found their first round of the half, and maybe this is the beginning of bigger things.
Well, one round on the board is certainly better than nothing. They can build on this. They can get back into this game, and it's not so hard for SK to do that as a team. I mean, the fact is that they're playing mTw, and I think that's where it becomes harder, not the fact that it's impossible to do it anyway. It's the fact that they're playing maybe an impossible-to-beat team. At the moment, Sunder, of course, watching the outer side. SK seemingly are going to push there quite quickly. The smokes are down. Sunder will pick off Zet, and that's our first frag. He was down at the end of Pop Dog. Tentpole did get one. Wimp will reply with that for Mass. And here's a big battle. Wally versus Sunder. Two amazing AWPers. And one amazing gun, and it will be Sunder through electric box there. Just a random headshot as Wally was walking around. Allen is on top of the train. Robin will come in to get Sunder, and it's actually a 2 versus 1 in favor of SK. The last man standing for mTw is MJ. Can he do it again? He's picked off one man. The second man is Robin. Robin's looking, and Robin gets the kill. Great play by SK. Again, pick up a round, and it's 5-2.
In the previous, 3 rounds that Robin had been back, he hadn't got a frag in those 3. Now he comes back and he picks himself up 2 to win the round for SK. Very, very important there from Robin, and you feel that from their perspective now that the door is opening, that their fingers are in the cookie jar. But let's see whether mTw are going to hold them back or not. SK have got 3 players coming down inside here. AVE and Wimp are the ones to push out here. I think mTw are on a save. They're like, oh, AVE will make his way through. Nades come flying out. Robin and Zet pick up the frags. This is a great start for SK. And it looks like, from SK's perspective, they may be able to tie this one back up, or pull this one back to 5-3. And this is almost a game of chess as we go and wait for mTw's reply on the next round. And I'll tell you what, Joe, if SK were in one more round, they equal what Alternate did to mTw on this match. And that shows how strong their attack is if they can do that.
Yeah, certainly they can build on. I mean, 3 rounds, even if it ended at 3 rounds, I don't think it's impossible for SK to do that. They just have to start well. And Wally actually said it yesterday before one of their other games that their main focus is to start well in the game. Once they start well, they can continue to move well. They have that kind of thing in the head that when you get a good start, you continue it. And if SK do that, then I honestly think that things can go well for them. Obviously, they're building up some momentum here as well. So this point of the game is really crucial for SK because they have that momentum going for them. They are putting the rounds on the board, and they need to control the money of mTw and keep getting these rounds up there. Now, SK are taking it slow. Zet's taking point down into the bottom of Whitehall's. If you look at the scoreboard, 13-3 NJE leading the way, and he will actually get the dink onto Zet. He's knocked him right down to 16 health points as well. So early on, SK taking damage here, and of course they will try and rotate men around. The money is back with mTw, so they have weapons this time. SK are starting to move their way down towards that inner site. The smokes will be popped. Flashbang comes down into the back of Whitehall's. No one will follow it, but here come SK. Flashes and smokes are down on that inner site. Tentpole going to rush down there, flashing over to the back towards those Z hallways. Tentpole going to go aggressive. Sunder will pick off Wally. The bomb needs to be planted here. MJE was hiding under one train. Sunder and Zonic both opening up. SK going to be in trouble. 4 versus 2. Here comes Zet. Zonic will spot him, and now it's all on Robin, and he's picked off by Sunder. And again, that AWP just being put into perfect play by Sunder, used it to slow them down and then pick them off one by one.
Yes, it's so difficult to play against Sunder right now when he is in form. And a 6-3, the rot has been stopped by mTw, and SK find themselves back on the drawing board. It's difficult for them because they got a relatively clean entry into that site, which is a surprising part that they weren't able to do much damage at all. MJE has extended himself out on the other side, but Zet finds it and gets the frag. Again, they've got entry here. Zonic is going to try to stop them doing so. He and AVE have contributed 3 frags between them. Tentpole down, AVE's got him, and now it is, Wally went down. Tentpole, last man alive for SK. Shots coming in from Wimp. And Temple, 1 versus 3, has had a quiet tournament, and I was about to say now is his time to show his muscle, but he's dead.
You know, Sonic there played that position perfectly, and it's usually alternate that say this, but mTw have those players that can come up with 2 or 3 every round, and that's what Sonic did there. MJE went down, but instead of sitting back, Sonic actually went aggressive. HE up there and then went in and killed 2, and that's what really brought that round back to them. And mTw again will kind of recover from something that they may not have if they didn't have the players that play like they do. At the moment, the score is 7-3. We've got 5 rounds remaining in this first half, and 3. Not going to be happy with that, SK. They want more, of course. I think 5 would be ideal for them. If they can pick 5 up, it's certainly a very, very doable scoreline. Robin is edging his way down into that inner bomb site. He has been hit and taken down by Sonic. And for me, SK at the moment are just too spread out. They're all over the place. Not, you know, there's not 2 players bunched up there. They're all individual.
Yeah, I agree with you there. They seem to be struggling to make the right attacks. When they do, it goes well, but if they don't get entry, they're so far away from being able to follow it up once they've got the commitment of one of their opponent players that it does make it difficult for the remaining players. Alan and Wally now have not had any help from the opening 3 players that have died. They have got the first frag though. It's come from Alan, but Wally's down to MJE, and now Alan has to do it all on his own. 1 versus 4. As he gets himself his second frag of the round, and as those SK players dance from train to train, it's Sunder's nade that blows up in Alan's face and says, not today. 8-3 the score, 4 to go in the half, and I agree with you, Joe. If SK can pick up just 2 more, we've got a real game on our hands.
Take a look at SK. They have nades. I'm not sure if they have weapons, though, to be honest. We'll see here any second. Smokes and flashes being put out by Wally. He's got a deagle, so I'm guessing not. He will sit down on that 5 train and just wait for someone to peek out onto him. Sunder is watching. He did spot someone there by the electric box. The bomb has been planted on this outer side. So SK on the eco have managed to get the bomb down. Not sure if they can hold on to it. Tempo's got an AK. He's got 2 frags, and out of nowhere, SK could take this round. The HE slid into the feet of Tempo, who's down now to Sunder's AWP at fairly close range. Alan underneath one of the trains as well. It's actually 3-on-3. Wally picks off Wimp. Looking good for mTw. MJE will get 1 and 2. He needs to take down Zet, who's by the electric box. And brilliant positioning from Zet. Didn't show himself until he really needed to at the end.
You just got to sit back and applaud that round from SK. They won an eco, that's a big factor, but the way they won it, the individual players of Zet and Alan at the end. Alan was sat, I think, under the final 5 train and watched Wimp run by. He didn't go for the shot. He told his teammate where he was, who got the frag. He then continued to wait because he was in the biggest position to stop the bomb diffuser. That timing was so crucial that he was allowing his teammate to get the frag, but him then to edge his way up to get to the bomb diffuser and stop the diffuser from happening. That won the round when it was backed up by Zet. And here comes Wally with 2 big frags for SK. Really good start from them. They're up at a 4-on-2. MJE's down to Zet's right. And it isn't anymore. It's all on Sunder. Has the AWP to play with, but 2 enemies still to go. Sunder's got 2 this round, and he is the one that has to do it all. As the other frag this round came from Wimp. Zet and Sunder about to go at it as Sunder makes his way around that corner. Now has Zet to still contend with. He and Alan versus Sunder. Second round in a row that those 2 are the last up for SK. Sunder may think about saving, having lost a previous round. I think that's what's on his mind as he makes his way around from that. And we said if SK could get 5, that they were really back in this one going into the second half. Well, when that bomb blows in about 5 seconds, they've got 5 rounds.
Yeah, 5's very good, and of course there are still 2 more rounds after that as well, so it could maybe be picked up by SK, and, well, 7 would be just phenomenal. If they could go in 8-7 at half-time, that would be, well, a dream come true for SK in this game anyway. I mean, they obviously have drawn 1 game in the group stage. They could really do with winning this game to slow mTw down, maybe knock some confidence away from them going forward in the tournament as well.
Think of the confidence boost it would give to SK, let alone what it could do to mTw. The then question is, well, if SK can win this one, if you can beat mTw, you can beat anyone.
Yep, the current form would suggest that. As SK actually pushing very quickly in here. Alan and Wally both getting frags, and SK will now look to get this bomb planted with Alan. Get ready for the pushback from mTw, and it was easy in the end from SK. Tempo with a big double at the end, and it was an eco round. Well, this, of course, will now be the final round, and SK have 6 rounds on the board. We've got 1 more to go. 8-7's great, 9-6 is fine too.
This is almost SK's round to lose. That's the big thing, because regardless of what happens now, a successful pistol round conversion makes it 9-9 at worst. Could make it 10-8. I mean, this is SK's game to lose because they're going onto a CT side, which they'd be expected to do very well on. So great work from them. Really great work from them. But remember what Robin said, what Wally said in that interview. We've played better in the first half and often thrown it away in the second. So this game isn't over by a long shot. But encouraging signs from the Swedes as it will all kick off in the alleyways once again. To Robin's left is mJE. Nate comes down. Zet powered away by Zonic. The nades come down. SK are going to follow this one through. Robin will make his way across. mJE comes in. Robin goes down. And it's all on Tempole. He gets himself a good frag onto mJE. Alan makes his way across. Wally, Tempole, and Alan all sat in that train. Wimp gets himself the frag. It's Alan that goes down. Wally finds one more. Tempole in. Tempole at the double. Sunder versus SK. He's the last man standing. And he is, with just 25 points of health, going to go down to Wally. And it's 8-7. And this just went from SK's game to lose to SK's game to throw away.
It certainly is. 8-7 on T side of train is phenomenal for SK. They will be, well, I'd imagine, very, very happy with that. And for me, mTw just weren't the same there. I mean, SK, no credit to take away from them. They were absolutely on the ball today. They managed to find those holes in mTw's defense, whereas other teams have not been able to. I mean, Alternate, for example, did that. They were able to do that for them just a few rounds. The fact that AVE is playing not the greatest game of his life, 3 frags for 13 deaths. Well, then you look at SK and you see Robin's 4 and 9 as well, and well, it's not so bad.
You're going to take 3 rounds off Robin, though, because he lost his stats from the pistol round and the following 2, because it was crash.
Yeah. I mean, AVE, to be honest, has to pick it up now. mTw as a whole have to pick this up, because, of course, they're on T side now. They have to win this game.
They do. SK are on fire. Players like Temple, we talked about him coming up big for SK. He has done. Alan and Zet have been the gruesome twosome for SK, finding of themselves the last 2 men up 2 rounds in a row and bringing it home for SK. Great play by them. Zet did almost just fall over as he ran off the stage. Don't think we didn't notice that as he runs off to the toilet. But, well, great stuff. SK have rattled the cage of mTw.
Well, we said that SK would be happy with those 7 rounds. Why don't we just find out? James is on the stage with Wally.
Thank you, Joe and Toss. Yeah, I'm on stage with Wally from SK. Half-time scoreline 8-7, but in favour of mTw. But surely you've got to be very happy with that performance, considering you lost the pistol, the first buy round, and a great comeback at the end.
Yeah, you have to be happy with a score like that when we started out so bad. So yeah, we're really satisfied.
And how's your team playing there? Because so far in the tournament, obviously, you had a draw versus Mirror, 2 wins still, but now it looks like you could beat mTw. Is the team of SK playing a lot better now than previously?
Yeah, obviously we are, but it remains to be seen. We played well first halves before, so I mean, we have to win this one too, and we might as well get 0 rounds now because they're a really good team. So I wouldn't say too much yet.
So obviously, yeah, you're going to go into the CT side, the better half, but you said before that you've been somewhat sucking on the second half. So I mean, how are you going to try and not suck, if you don't mind me asking, on CT?
Well, we're just trying to remotivate ourselves from playing so bad in the other tournament, and I don't know exactly how we're going to do it, but hopefully with a pistol round and first gun round, that'd be perfect, I guess.
It would be a perfect start, but in all fairness, you're the only team so far that's really put mTw under pressure, so you are the team that can beat them. So I wish you all the best of luck in the second half, Wally, and you can now go for your little smoke break. So then, Joe, they can take it if they do a good second half. Can they do it? Well, I think they possibly could.
They certainly could, in my opinion, and as Wally said, the aim of this kind of exercise is not to suck in the second half.
Yeah, I mean, it's an interesting way of putting it, but good stuff. Great half from SK. They're going to regroup now. You can see them on the stage, desperately regrouping, and they've let mTw sort of freeze from it. mTw have to dwell on this. They want the pistol round to start and get on with this, but they can't because of that interview, because of the fact that SK are now having their tactical break. It's difficult. Halftime scores for you coming in from the other game. Fnatic are playing alternate. This is the big one in that group for first or second place. And I can tell you, German fans, that the Swedes lead 12 rounds to 5. And it is not looking good for alternate against Fnatic. Remember, alternate have only lost to mTw twice and MYM once this entire week. Fnatic, they beat previously by 16 rounds to 14. And now they're on the wrong end. We made Fox a 4 up against Team EG, who we just saw on the stage previously. And mTw versus SK is live. Mirror beat MIBR 2010, although we saw that result. And MIBR Gravitas finished 15-15, which means MIBR have just one game left against SK, but they may not go home with a single win. I think we've got mTw MYM up next on the stage. So that'll be a great game. But Joe, your thoughts on Fnatic up against alternate?
I think Fnatic are really impressive today. They've not dropped a game yet, and they were looking really, really good earlier on when we saw them. In my opinion, this lineup only gets better anyway for Fnatic. They're new. I think every single game is an improvement for them right now. So you'd expect them, by the time kind of playoffs come along, to be at a level where they're really, really confident. Of course, they've beaten some good teams, beating alternate at the moment, and alternate really haven't lost that many games this tournament, so they can be happy with that result. We are live in the pistol round, and as you can see there, a 3-man stack from mTw. That's so they can see up onto the top of the train. MJ is inside the white holes, kill for kill with Robin, and as the kind of lone man there, he did his job. mTw now settling back in to those white holes. They've not decided exactly where they're going to do. Robin is there as well. He will be shut down by Zonic. And he had the help of Wimp in that situation as well. AVE falls to Allen, but mTw are going to charge into this inner bomb site, and it's completely undefended at the moment. That AVE push onto the outer really fooled SK, but they have that range advantage with their pistols. Let's see if they can use it. Grenades coming in as well, as Wimp continues to just wait out on this right-hand side, wasting the time. Zonic picks off Tempo. Wimp will get his frag onto Allen. It's now all on one man. The man we'd heard from at half-time, Wally, as he drops down there onto the train. Surely he's not got enough time. Gets the kill onto Zonic. He now still has 2 to find. That bomb's going to go off, but Sunday will get the kill before it happens. And SK lose out in the pistol. It goes to mTw, who extend their lead to 9-7.
They do, and that was big for mTw. They needed that. It takes the pressure on them, off them, and that's what they wanted. Makes things a little bit easier. Remember, they need, what, 8 rounds to win it. And there come one of them, and what would surely be most likely 2 and then 3 if successfully converted. First frag of the second comes in now as MJE drops Wally. Wimp will make his way down towards that A train yard. And mTw are sat, poised, making sure none of the SK players show themselves. And that seems to be the case. SK may have bought the bait here as well. Let's see, because Zonic and AVE are going to walk into that top train yard and say, you know what, it's all clear. And mTw make their way in toward that site. And now SK realize, you know what, they're not here. We need to get toward the, we need to get towards that other site because Wimp is going to put the bomb down and mTw are going to take this by force at the moment. SK are 4 men deep at the back of that bomb site. Now 2 men deep, make that 1 man deep. And when Zet dies in just a moment, it'll all be over.
Yeah, of course, these rounds pretty much a given in this situation. mTw on the T side have, of course, cheaper weaponry. They want pistol rounds, so the money's all with them. And, of course, SK just have to live with those pistols and hope that they can pull something off. The score is now 10 rounds to 7. mTw having a 3-round lead as we go into this 3rd round, which again should be headed towards the Danes. AVE will pick off the first kill. Robin goes down. Wallet is now watching on the outer side, but again, mTw have gone full men into the inner bomb site. SK have gone all men onto the outer bomb site, so they will have to come back around. I mean, it's a wise thing to do, of course, on the pistol. There's no real point in splitting up because then you'll just be picked off one by one. You might as well stick together and hope that strength in numbers can actually get you some kills.
Yeah, it's all about strength in numbers, as you put it that way, because you don't have the weapons to go 1 versus 1 versus these guys. And mTw are going to win this round, escape without any loss. And SK probably won't even see an mTw player. For those 4 that are up, the only man that went down was Robin. And now we come to that first buy round. Now we come to the situation where SK can either, well, fold under the pressure or shine under the light here on the main stage. Very important for SK that they take this round. It is all on this one. They can really begin this the comeback train for them.
Yeah, of course they are now all armed up with weapons, so if mTw are able to win this one, SK would be hurting quite badly from it. After losing pistol, to lose the first gun round would be a horrible situation for SK. After such a good first half as well, where they managed to go in with just 1 point deficit. And on train T side, that's great. We have 1 man actually pushing down into Ivy. That was AVE. He's picked up by Tempo. mTw now are going to make their move. And it will come onto the inner side. Robin with 2. Zet will come around from the top side. And SK look like they could be taking this round. Sunday is the last man alive for mTw. I'm not sure what he's going to do in this situation. Zet's got the bomb covered. He's down on the floor. Near that upper ramp. In fact, both Robin and Zet have got that bomb covered. It's in such a horrible position. And Sunder is not going to be able to stay alive for a full minute. He's going to have to maybe risk things here. He's against the whole 5 of the SK team. They are all still alive in this situation. 5 on 1. And well, if anyone could do it, it'd be Sunder. I just don't think that this situation really will allow for that to happen. Fire through the wall. Sunder will continue to look. No one around there for a pop dog. Actually, Alan was there, but is now further off towards the left-hand side. Sunder will continue to peek around. Alan is still there on his left-hand side. Alan will go down. Sunder now has somewhat of an opportunity. He's on 97 HP. He's got a man on sniper deck. A man moving around there as well. Sunder will fire down. This nade could catch someone out. Tent pole will take damage, and he does manage to last a full minute. I'm really surprised at that. I'm surprised that SK didn't start trekking him down earlier than that.
No, I fully agree. I think perhaps it's because it was Sunder. the fear that he can put into people. But SK pick up a very good round there. They stop the rot, they shine, and now they're on the comeback trail. They have weapons and money on CTs. And whilst this is an mTw buy round, it means that if they lose this one, they'll be on a save and we'll be back to that halftime deficit of just 1, should that be the case. So it'll be very, very, very important round for them. You can see where the bomb's going, but AVE's taking some players up the other end. Tempole drops AVE, and Zonic comes in with a big frag there. Important stuff. Zek gets the frag onto MJ. This on the other side. Tempole down Sonic. Zed in the thick of things here on that other side. Spies 1, Wally's dropped Wimp. It's all on Sunder, and he's down by Wally. SK are alive to the sound of fragging, and they are only down by 2 rounds. The score is 11 rounds to 9.
2 rounds behind, and SK could level this second half up, and of course, we are expecting them to have a lead, really. You know, statistics say that, you know, CT side is stronger, they should have a lead. The question is how big that lead will be. Of course, in the group stage, we can still have a draw. So if they can manage to get 8-7, then they will, of course, draw this game. But when you think about it logically, SK really, with the caliber of team that they are, should be able to take more than an 8-7 lead. And I think mTw were pressured quite hard in that first half to, and you know, that's one of the reasons why they actually dropped down to that 8-7 lead. Because it's not good for mTw. That wasn't a good CT side for them. And at the moment, their T side, you know, they won pistol. They won, of course, the 2 rounds after that, but they've lost the gun rounds, which is the real kind of sign as to what's going to happen in this game.
Yeah, you're totally right. And well, this round's taking its time as mTw used to look to use that to slow them down. But here come the mTw side, met by Wally's opening frag. Wimp downs him. We're at a 4-on-4 in that top train yard. Wimp will continue to nade across the top. It's not going to be so easy as Tempo climbs to find the frag. Good work from him. Now mTw 2 men down. This could be the round that does it for them. Allen comes up with a headshot onto Sunder. He's down and out. AVE and Sonic, the last 2 that remain. Sonic's down by Robin. AVE, who needs to raise his aim in this half, has 1 on 3 and didn't have any bullets either.
No, that clicking sound is not good. Quick score update, actually. Fnatic have beaten Alternate. The score 18 rounds to 6. That's still being played. So impressive, very impressive from Fnatic to beat Alternate. And the way that Alternate are playing, very informed team at the moment. We have another game, another result actually. Crack Clan managing to beat XCO 16-14. Close game, but Crack Clan continue to play out, and they're actually doing fairly well in that group stage. They may be a contender for one of those top 3 positions should they kind of upset someone.
Yeah, I think so. I think Crack Clan are a team who certainly know what they're all about and make it very difficult for anyone to come back into it. So I like Crack Clan a lot. mTw taking this round in spawn.
Yeah, it's an eco round, so they're just going to sit there and chat, basically. Which is a tactic used by a lot of teams rather than just relying on that at that time in between rounds. Why not use an eco round as kind of a timeout? I mean, according to the rules, I believe that teams can call 1 timeout per game.
Yes.
For tactical reasons.
Again, if I were on that team, I'd just knock the power cable out of one of my PCs and say, oh, my PC's broken. Get really as long as I want to pause.
Unsportsmanlike. Well, then you are a Chelsea fan, so that doesn't surprise me. So obviously that round was an eco. Yeah. Another round will go on the board for mTw. They get closer, and this is the thing about Train, that mTw probably aren't going to go taking 4 or 5 rounds in a row. They're going to take 1 here, 1 there, and all of a sudden, well, eventually they'll get to 16 and they'll crawl over that finish line. I don't think they're going to be able to dominate SK in a way that they can put so many rounds on the board together. We can see the pyramid of people there with Sunder balanced on top, looking for the sniper shot down to the top of that 5 train. And I've seen Sunder do this a lot, but I don't think I've ever seen anyone actually walk there.
No. but when it comes off, it'll look really good.
Yeah. It'll look superb, and it'll probably win the round for them as well at the start. But you know, I guess you've got to check it every time, and also be lucky with the fact that they're going there. At the moment, mTw are pushing their way down towards Ivy. Temple will spray through the smoke and surely done the damage to Wimp as well. Wimp's down to 74. Allen picks off MJE. Sunder will be the one to reply. And Wimp again backs away. Sunder with his second, and this could be a round-changing moment. It's actually now in favor of mTw, 3-on-2. And Allen looks scared as he tries to track down someone from mTw. The bomb will be planted as well, as you can hear on the inner site. Temple is the man that's close to it for SK. Maybe you should wait until Allen's able to come back around from that opposite side and then kind of pincer them inside of those white holes, because if they come through at the right time, it could be good. Allen does get one. Sunder will pick off Allen though, and now it's all on Temple. He's got Sunder to his right, Wimp to his left, and Sunder will be the one that finds a kill. And again, Sunder 4 frags in 1 round. Perfect.
Zonic got
game-changing.
out of his seat to go and hug Sunder after that round. I think he respects how important he really is to that team. I think mTw also respect how difficult this match is going to be for them. Right now, the overall score is 12 rounds to 11, which shows just how close this game is. And you know what? That makes things awfully difficult to predict at this moment, because we are at a point where things are going a little bit to and fro. But here we go anyway. Up on this one. Robin with the orb. Oh, he's got one. That's Wimp. Can't find the second, but Zet helps him out. The bodies are hitting the floor here as Robin and Zet go to work on mTw. And Zet, it's Sonic and Sunder who are left up to save the day. And they go up. Robin gets himself the next one. Sonic down. And this really would be the icing on the cake. Orb to orb. Sunder retreats. But Wally is coming from behind. Sunder gets him with his orb. Let's find Sunder as he makes his way in. He's going to go this one alone. Is the beat of that team, but the machine that is Robin with that orb gets himself his 4th frag of that round and says to Sunder, you know what? Anything you can do, I can do. 12-12.
Great play there again by Robin, and you know, it's always great to see these AWPs in action on train, and we actually saw alternate with 3. They didn't actually buy 3, they bought 2. The third one was picked up from mTw, and they used that really well. mTw had real trouble stopping that defense and finding a way to get into the side without losing 2 or 3 men. And that was happening almost every round, and that's really what got alternate back into that finals of the Continentals yesterday. So maybe Allen and co should think about getting 2 AWPs into play and see what they can do. This round should be fairly easy for them because mTw have no cash, and that means, of course, no weapons. They will just go at it with the Glocks, and they are taking their time. We've still, of course, got 1 minute 15 seconds of the full 2-minute round to go. mTw aren't going to throw this one away. The score is all tied up, 12 rounds to 12, and obviously with SK now on that stronger CT side, surely they've got to be favoured to win this game.
I think so. I think this now, as we said at half-time, was SK's game to lose.
Yeah.
And they, at the moment, are showing no signs of losing it. They look very, very good. They don't seem to be really in a position of being under that much pressure. They could quite happily drop a couple of rounds and still be safe, because, you know what, mTw need 4 to win this one. SK need only 3, and their score is 12 rounds to 13.
Yep, of course we are still in Group C, so we will play all 30 rounds, which, well, we might not need anything after someone wins, because I think this one might go right down to the wire and into those last rounds. And mTw, at the moment, will chase down Ivy. They, of course, have weapons once again. Let's watch Sunder, because he's the man that will lead them out there. And he does spot an arm, and it's not often you see him miss. Well, that time he did. Unless he hit the arm and didn't get the kill. No, he Now mTw looking for even more. That would have been the perfect opening to the round. If Sunder would have just hit that shot, mTw would have had themselves an opening onto that outer bomb site. Still stack up at the end of Ivy, not quite ready yet to make their way into there. I'm assuming that the Fnatic game's over, judging by the presence of Mr. Matthews over there.
Good result for Fnatic, beating Alternate, only the third team this weekend to beat Alternate, and picking up 20 rounds in the process. Very impressive.
Certainly is. 10 poles at the back of the train yard here. Zonic took a while to take him down, but it is kill for kill. We are in a 3-on-3 situation, actually. MJE chimes in, then goes down. Wimp will bring it back. Very even rounds here between mTw and SK, with the score all in the favor now, sorry, of SK. Only by 1 now, and they'll make it 2 rounds. Robin picks off Zonic, and this is looking good. As Wally said, the second half, all they had to do was not suck. And so far, they're doing pretty good.
They are. mTw are going to roll the dice here because they don't want to get to a match point situation, so they know they must deliver on this round, and they've got a Galil and an AK and whatever the pennies will stretch to. And AVE walks into the native 10 pole, followed up by his M4. The next attack is coming from MJE inside, and nade goes off in his face. Sonic's Galil gets the frag onto Alan. And the full mTw armada will make their way inside towards this site. Now nade comes up. AWP is lined up from Robin. He's got action stations coming his way any second now. The last time mTw came this way, Robin got 4. Wally, though, has cut Zonic off as he tried to escape. mTw down to 3 men now. MJE, Wimp, and Sunder left alive. If they don't come out of this with a round, it's match point. And mTw staring their very first defeat in the face. 4-on-3. Still possible for mTw. They just need to get this entry frag. Robin has rotated completely around to that other site. If mTw were to go and were to do something, they may be able to cause some damage, and now they're going to go for it. But Robin's going to come racing around the corner any second now with his AWP. MJE finds the frag onto Zet. 3-on-3, be it momentarily. Where is Robin and that AWP? Lined up, low on HP. Sunder frags Wally. mTw are alive. They've got themselves a man advantage. Can Robin bring us back? No! MJE frag onto 10 pole. mTw still alive as they push through him. It's Robin or bust for SK, and it will be bust as Robin retracts from the site with the frag onto Wimp. And mTw are going to take a round. They're going to bring us back to 1. It is 13-14, even though Robin is fragging like a machine.
Yep, Robin is going to keep a hold of that AWP, keep it a little less expensive. The score is 14-13 in favor of SK. And of course now, mTw can tie us all up once again if they're able to pick up this round. You know, mTw did well there. I think if they'd have gone in the first time that they started flashing in there into that inner site, they would have been picked off. Robin was in the way. This time he picked off Sunder at the start. That's a valuable frag for the Swedes. Zet will pick off another one. It looks great here for SK. They can move up to game point with this round win. And mTw are already down to just 3 men left standing. Alan up on the sniper deck, tent pole on the outer side. Zet got inner. And mTw are moving very slow. Slow and calculated. They don't want to give themselves away, don't want to give their positions away. Wimp has created an opening though for mTw on that inner site. He's picked off 1. Well, actually the bomb with AVE is not going that way. He's waiting at the moment in spawn, just taking a look out towards that middle train yard. Sonic will peek out on Ivy as well. Tent pole is just off to his right when he comes around here. There's another man there as well. I think it's Alan. Sonic will now peek. Will he check behind that box? He sees Tent pole's head, but he's still not able to get the frag. Wimp is now one of 2 remaining players for mTw. Has to come up big here for his team and bring this game back to level terms. give them the chance to still win this one. There are only 28 seconds to go. Alan will pick off Wimp, and now AVE, who not had the greatest of games in the first half, and the second half is not going great for him either, will be taken out by Tempol, and that will bring us back to, we'll put SK up to game point. The score is 15-13, and there are 2 rounds, of course, to go. SK can win it with either of them.
Big mistake there from mTw. Zonic made entry up, coming in from the Ivy, long before Wimp was in any position to make entry into that top train yard. Wimp was still coming down the ladder when Zonic pushed in. Then he went in 1 by 1, and it was SK versus Zonic, SK versus Wimp, and then SK versus AVE. Wasn't good enough from mTw, and it's from the first times we can say that. Here we go, frag from Wally, evened up by the Galil of Sunder. It's Tempol to get one back. MJE with a big frag there. Now Zonic's been able to profit with the weapon. Romanzorp has delivered onto his opposite number, Sunder. mTw are 2 frags away from defeat. Their first defeat in a hell of a long time. Probably since SK beat them at the DreamHack final. Tempol's got the HE onto MJE. And it's all on Zonic, the Danish veteran of mTw, who has 29 points of health for 3 SK players. He does not have the bomb either. He has been spotted. And that will be that! SK have defeated the European champions mTw, and they can't even force a smile right now. But I think they know inside that they have just sent out a huge message.
Yeah, that, in my opinion, has just made these global finals even more interesting. Before this tournament, and obviously in the Europeans, mTw looked completely unbeatable. Alternate managed to stretch them in that 15-15 draw before losing into overtime. And now, of course, SK have beaten them. I think this really sends out that message to other people as, you know, guys, you can beat SK, you can beat mTw too.
We spent yesterday asking the question, who can beat mTw? We asked that question throughout the day. We didn't have to wait long for the answer.
I think Sam over here to our left said Fnatic then.
Fnatic also played very well today. Suddenly that aura of invincibility that was mTw is gone, and the strong play of SK has beaten them now. In the other group, Fnatic have gone 4 or 5 games without reply. There's one more. Fnatic have won 4. And they play EG next, and EG are, well, right now, whipping boys in that group.
Yeah.
So we'll see. SK up on the stage there. Know exactly what that game meant to them.
Let's take a look, see what other scores we've got coming in after that game, and see exactly how that leaves the group stage, the group table, should I say. That makes it a little bit more interesting, in my opinion. That, as we've said, opens everyone's eyes to the fact that they are a beatable team. Obviously, the groups aren't updated at the moment. Meet Your Makers have lost 1 game, which was against SK. So they've got 9 points. SK have got now 10 points. MYM are about to play mTw as well. So that will be a hard game for both of those teams, but in this group now, it got crazy because if MYM can beat mTw, that would put them above, it'd be mTw going through in 3rd, which really makes this a bit crazy, if you like.
And that's what's coming up next on the stage.
Yeah, exactly. And in Group B, which is interesting as well, you know, we've got Fnatic, Alternate, Crack Clan, We Made Fox, EG, and X3O. We Made Fox won 1, lost 2. Crack Clan are one of the teams to have won 4, and they've won 2 of those 4. And so they're certainly in there with a chance. And for me, I think it'd be an upset if We Made Fox weren't able to actually get through to that next level.
Yes, definitely. There is some... it's really, the end of the day is going to be the best part of the day when the story of this just unfolds. And, well, suddenly we're asking questions of mTw. Suddenly We Made Fox, who we saw this morning lose twice, are back in with a shout. Fnatic, who finished 4th in the Euros and perhaps a bit disappointing, are back in with a bang. And Alternate, who were everyone's sort of favorite team because they were that underdog, show that they've still got work to do.
Well, at half-time in that game that we've just seen between mTw and SK. Wally said, all we need to do in the second half is not suck. I didn't think they sucked in that second half. They, of course, won the game. And on stage, Jay is with Wally now for a chat after the game.
Yeah, back on stage once again with Wally, and this time we're interviewing because he is the winner. And SK, throughout this event, not really had much of a reason to smile, but certainly smiling now after that huge victory over mTw. How does it feel to be running on all cylinders as a team of SK?
Well, I think we played a really good game, so I'm just really happy we managed to pull through for once and not fail like we did in the other tournaments. So I'm really proud of the guys, and it's a good feeling.
And certainly an extra good feeling, considered you've lifted the curse of a bad second half. And I mean, you lost 2 pistol rounds and still came through. So, you know, if you keep this form, can we expect to see you in the grand finals?
Yeah, that's true. I didn't think of that. We did lose both pistol rounds, and if we manage to get them in the future in the other matches, we should have an even bigger chance of winning our matches.
Okay, so you've got one more game, or maybe 2 in the actual group stages. One of the big matchups will be versus MIBR. They're not performing too well at the moment. Are you still a little bit concerned? Because if you do drop this match, chances are you won't go through first, and then you're going to have to go into relegations. If you win this because of your draw, you should go through first. So a little bit nervous, or are you confident?
I guess we're more confident versus MIBR than versus mTw and MYM, but I mean, we can't be too overconfident either. So we're going to give it all we have.
All right, so you still got some energy left in the team of SK. So before I let you go, any shout-outs?
I'd like to say hi to Alex, the owner of SK, and congratulate him for his newborn child. Hey, Alex.
All right, here we have it. So everything SK has to say and has to be done has been done, and they could go through in first place. The groups, make sure you check them out at esl-world.net/masters. But if you're bored of English, if you're bored of the I7, which you shouldn't be, is a little bit of German for you with Daniel Balala.